I call this just maybe dressing with some respect. Whether it's a pair of jeans and a decent shirt, I would encourage people to maybe dress a little better, which encourages us to maybe behave a little better. Let's try not to wear slippers and pajamas as we come to the airport. I think that's positive. I've had delays, I've had cancellations like many of you, but if you are delayed or you're canceled, know that it comes from a place of your safety in mind. If it's weather, if it's mechanical, if it's air traffic control, staffing issues, those are the factors that are considered as those decisions are being made. And again, it's strictly based on safety. And again, we want you to get to where you're going. And so safety is paramount. The administrator mentioned civility. Some of you might have noticed that we've launched a civility campaign. And I think it's important as we travel that we think about not just ourselves, not just our families, but we think about those who are around us. And we call our better angels. In a busy time, and again, the airports are going to be packed. TSA lines may be a little longer. And as you might not be able to find a seat as you're by your gate because of the number of flights that are going out or coming in. But I think we have to think about how do we do a better job? How do we maintain maybe some of that frustration we have as we travel this Thanksgiving season? Maybe we should say please and thank you to our pilots and to our flight attendants. I think, again, I call this just maybe dressing with some respect. Whether it's a pair of jeans and a decent shirt, I would encourage people to maybe dress a little better, which encourages us to maybe behave a little better. Let's try not to wear slippers and pajamas as we come to the airport. I think that's positive. If we can help someone as we're getting on the aircraft that might need some help putting their bag in the overhead bin, and you're a little stronger, a little buffer, you've been lifting, stand up and offer to grab that bag and put it up for someone who's having a more difficult time. Common courtesy and civility, I think, is going to work well. And I'd ask you to please be patient with our TSA and our gate agents. And again, they're working their hearts out to make sure that this is the best experience possible for you and the safest experience possible for you. And again, a little gratitude goes a long way. And if we all do that, I think we're going to have a far better travel season. And by the way, we're going to get to our families on Thanksgiving with a lot better attitude. Who couldn't ask for that? You guys can fight about politics when you get home for Thanksgiving. Let's have this be the pre-run that is politic-free and very friendly, with please and thank yous and a lot of gratitude for all the work that happens to get you to your final destination. With that, we're happy to take some questions if you have some for us. I appreciate that. I actually almost wore a pair of jeans, and I'm like, I better not if I'm going to talk about dressing up.
Chris Van Cleve from CBS News, sir. If you'll indulge me, two quick questions. One, every time we have talked to flyers in the last 2 weeks since the shutdown ended, they've told us the same thing, that they had some apprehension about whether they should keep that Thanksgiving flight, whether they'd be on time, whether it'd be safe. What do you say to flyers who are still a little unnerved after what they saw during the shutdown? So, we talked about that as we went through the shutdown. I didn't know when it was going to end. I didn't have a crystal ball, and we saw things getting very bad in regard to on-time flights and cancellations. Well, the shutdown ended soon enough. Our controllers, as the administrator just mentioned, are back at work. And so, again, you're seeing more on-time performance in the airspace. And again, our priority is your safety. And it's always been our priority. And that's why there were the level of delays and cancellations. So again, if you can still get a ticket and you can still fly and your family still wants to see you, book that ticket, jump on a flight, and don't be afraid to fly this season. Again, I can't control the weather. I can't control the mechanics of an airplane. But things look good from the air traffic control side. We are back to staffing levels that we had before the shutdown, I believe. So, and on the subject of air traffic, you got some pushback from the union, and I've heard from some controllers who maybe missed a day because of a child care issue or missed a day because of the stomach flu. For the folks that were there, working 5 days or 6 day weeks for the bulk of it, but maybe missed a day here or there, is there something you can do to recognize those? I've said that there were some that were consistently out, and for the most part, everybody else did the best they could.
I think you see the administrator and I have been very grateful through the course of the shutdown and recognizing some of the difficult circumstances our controllers were going through. And we talked about that quite a bit and recognized it. But we have to look and say, where's the cutoff? And if you got 100% on your test, you get the sticker that's a scratch and sniff sticker from the administration. Again, I know some people are not pleased with where the cutoff was, but to be clear with regard to our air traffic controllers, even those who had unique circumstances come up, maybe they would have been there, but for they got sick or a child got sick. All of them received full pay, even the ones that didn't show up as much as they should have. Everybody got paid for every single day they would have worked, even though they didn't work. So there is a benefit that comes, but this is the above and beyond. $10,000 is a big paycheck. And again, who should get that? I think the ones that had the peer record, and that's the decision that we made. And I think in the future, a lot of controllers would think, hey, there could be a reward when I show up. And I'm going to do all I can to be there every single day to serve the American people. And I know that I'll get paid at one point, but if I have a perfect attendance record, there could be a reward at the end of that rainbow. You want to add anything to that?
Well, I'll just say this. I spent the morning over at the Newark Tower, and their focus is on not just running a great air traffic control system for Americans traveling this week, but they're back focused on modernization. They want to talk about how we get rid of all of the old equipment that's sitting there. So if we really want to talk about how we can help our controllers be their very best and do the best service, the Secretary's right. We've got to keep our eye on the ball on modernizing the system, getting rid of the floppy disks, getting rid of the analog NAS, getting rid of the 30, 40-year-old equipment. We've got a ground surface radar here that's got one operable channel on it right now, and we don't have spare parts. So that's what the controllers are focused on, not this distraction of the award levels or participation. They're focused squarely where we want them focused, is making sure we have the safest, most reliable NAS in the world. So again, we're going to work shoulder to shoulder with those men and women to make sure we get them the right equipment, the best equipment to do the best job they can for the American public.
Yeah. We've seen an uptick in maybe a degradation in civility in the airspace, and so I thought it is appropriate to. Again, you can't legislate that, right? You can't mandate it, but I think if you ask people, could we do better? Could we be better? I think you won't get a better result unless you make the ask. And so I'm just making the ask. Let's all travel better together. And again, I think it honors our country, it honors our families, it honors our fellow passengers. And so I've made the ask, and again, I think we can do a better job. And by the way, most flights are pretty darn good. And people do behave really well with one another. It's just a few of those times where, again, don't take your shoes off and put your feet on the chair ahead of you. That's just, or maybe don't play your movie without headphones on. Just some simple things that can annoy the folks around you. We don't have to do that. And so just be cognizant and courteous. That's the ask.